The Galactic Council's emergency beacon cut through the void like a scream. Ambassador Telvera of the Ascendancy watched her display with mounting horror as the data streamed in. Colony ship Harmony's Dream had crash-landed on designation 7X, a Class 9 Deathworld in the Outer Rim. 200 colonists. 0 survival probability. We must send a rescue team immediately, she announced, her crystalline voice trembling. Council Director Jacrim's scales rippled with what humans might call a grimace. The atmospheric readings alone would liquefy our rescue teams. Gravity is 1.8 standard. The native fauna includes apex predators massing over 3 metric tons. The microbial life... He paused, his 4 eyes closing in what passed for grief among his people. We send no one to their deaths. Then we abandon them? Telvera's glow dimmed. We have no choice. A rough, gravelly voice interrupted from the back of the chamber. I'll go. Every being in the room turned. Captain Maria Chen stood at the entrance, her environmental suit marked with the insignia of the Terran Expeditionary Corps. Her face bore the weathered look of someone who'd seen too many stars and not enough sleep. Captain Chen, Jacrim said carefully, you misunderstand the severity. Class 9 Deathworld. High gravity, toxic atmosphere to most species, predatory megafauna, hostile microbial environment. Maria rattled off the facts like a shopping list. Yeah, I read the brief. When do I leave? Telvera's bioluminescent patterns flickered with confusion. Captain, your species may be durable, but even humans cannot survive. Ambassador. Maria's smile was the kind that never reached her eyes. Where exactly do you think I'm from? The silence in the chamber was absolute. Maria pulled up a holographic display, her fingers dancing across the interface. Earth, designation in your records, Terra. Let me give you the highlights. She expanded the data. Atmospheric oxygen concentration that would be considered toxic to most carbon-based life. A magnetosphere that barely keeps out cosmic radiation. Tectonic plates that regularly reshape entire continents. Weather systems that generate winds exceeding 300 kilometers per hour. Oceans with currents that could snap a starship in half. She zoomed in on various regions. We've got deserts where surface temperatures hit 70 Celsius. Frozen wastelands at -90. Jungles so dense with predators that every square meter is a potential death trap. Oh, and my personal favorite, Australia, where even the plants are trying to kill you. Jacrim's translator struggled to convey his next words. But your world is classified as a garden world in our database. Garden world? Maria laughed, the sound harsh and bitter. Director, we have spiders the size of dinner plates. Our oceans contain jellyfish whose sting can kill in minutes. We have bears that weigh 600 kilograms, crocodiles that have remained unchanged for 200 million years because they're already perfect killing machines. We have microscopic organisms that cause our organs to liquefy from the inside. She leaned forward, her hands on the council table. And you know what we did? We didn't just survive. We thrived. We domesticated the wolves that hunted us. We climbed to the top of the food chain with nothing but shaped rocks and our stubborn refusal to die. We looked at the apex predators and said, that looks delicious. Telvera's glow had shifted to a pale, frightened blue. This cannot be. The gravity on 7X? 1.8 standard? Maria straightened. I trained in 2.2 gravity for 6 months. The toxic atmosphere? I've got enough filters and oxygen to last 3 weeks. The predators? She patted the plasma rifle slung across her back. Earth taught me that the scariest predator isn't the one with the biggest teeth. It's the one smart enough to make bigger teeth. She pulled up the crash site data. Your colonists are Valen, right? Herbivorous, low-stress tolerance evolved on a world with 0.6 standard gravity and a nitrogen-argon atmosphere. She studied the topography. They've got maybe 72 hours before the local ecosystem realizes they're made of meat. You would go alone? Jacrim asked. Director, I've solo-hiked the Amazon, free-climbed the Himalayas, and survived a week in the Sahara on a dare. This? She gestured at the Deathworld designation. This is just Tuesday. 12 hours later, Maria's drop pod screamed through the atmosphere of 7X, what the locals had started calling Hell's Garden. The G-forces would have pulped most species. Maria grunted, checked her weapons, and started her countdown. The pod hit the canopy like a meteor, branches the size of skyscrapers shattering against the ablative shields. She emerged into a nightmare of bioluminescent predators, toxic spores and gravity that made every step feel like carrying another person. Maria inhaled deeply, her filters scrubbing the atmosphere. Somewhere in the distance, something roared, a sound that registered on seismic sensors. She smiled properly for the first time in weeks. "Right then," she muttered, chambering around and adjusting her pack. "Let's see what you've got." The jungle seemed to pause, as if the entire biosphere sensed something it had never encountered before, a product of a world that made this one look tame. A species that had clawed its way from prey to predator not through venom or claws, but through sheer bloody-minded persistence. Somewhere ahead, 200 colonists huddled in their ruined ship, praying to whatever gods they knew for salvation they didn't believe would come. They didn't know that salvation wore boots, carried enough firepower to level a city block, and considered this hell a mild inconvenience. Humanity had arrived, and hell didn't stand a chance.